Makes for some beautiful photos. Thank you so much, Jacob. In their first meeting of the new year, the Ward County Commissioners approved funding for Kenmare's Community Development Corporation. Kenmare's group is one of several economic development groups to which the county contributes and distributes funds. Commissioner Jim Rosted says he represents Kenmare, and the other commissioners too act as liaisons for their respective towns. He says it benefits the individual towns as well as the county as a whole.
They know their community and how that money should be spent, so we really try and give some funding throughout Ward County.
Rosted says an example of projects in Kenmare that the county's been involved in were the demolition of old apartments and building new sidewalks.